Today, I guess we're going to be talking about Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. He's an author I really like. Talking to strangers is an activity that gives me, I think it's so much on here, an activity that gives me extreme anxiety, which right now I have the problem in the opposite direction, and this might be a relatively shorter review. No, if I can get this, because honestly, I'm suffering from extreme depression. Like, dude, right now, I feel like the worst I've ever felt in my life. Like, legit, man. I've just been feeling helpless, hopeless, blah, 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 blah. But, I mean, fuck it. I mean, yeah, it's silly to even talk about this in a book review, but since no one watches these things anyway, they seem to be mostly for my amusement anyway. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. But I don't necessarily need to talk about my depression, or I just write it, or I just do a video on that. So we're going to be talking about Talking to Strangers, if I can focus on it at all. It is a really interesting book. As you can see, I'm about this way through with it. This way is out, even nowhere. Who cares? I'm too depressed to give a shit. But this is one of the first ones I checked out from the library in a while, and man, I feel like, I don't know why I'm such a slow reader. I mean, I know it's been a lot, I mean, it's probably just the depression, but I've already done a renewal, and like, that renewal is halfway through. I don't care, it's only like 10 cents a day if I don't bring it back right away, so I don't mind keeping it out. Still cheaper than buying the fucking thing. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this till I finish it. It's a great book. And it's interesting how nuanced it is, because it talks about like the Black Lives Matter debate, but it says, it put it in an interesting way. I'm probably not going to get it right. I don't know if I wrote the phrasing down, but it's like some don't only see the trees and some only see the forest when it comes to this debate. And it's like the left only sees, hey, here's the forest, you know, we have racism and all these biases. That's the forest. But oh Lord, we have a cat. Thank you for coming to visit me, Perseus. Alright, you're sweet. He's a loving cat, at least. He always gets his ears all fucked up. Look how, I don't know if you can see, he's got a really fucked up ear. We thought it was this groundhog that kept attacking him, but then Chel's brother ran over the groundhog, and he was involved in a motorcycle accident with a groundhog, and the groundhog died in that encounter, and this cat still has ear problems, so guess it wasn't a groundhog. So who knows? Hey, Perseus, are you gonna let me do my book review? You're very sweet though. I guess he just wants to help me cope with my depression. What a sweet cat. He is the slayer of the Gorgons. That's why he's Perseus. Isn't that right? Sometimes I confuse Perseus with Theseus, the ship guy. That's what I feel like. I'm a different person though. My fucking ship. I'm never gonna get to talk about this book though. I'm gonna talk about other shit the whole time. But this book does have very nuanced views on things. Like, dude, I didn't. Oh my god, Perseus, you son of a bitch. You're a sweet cat though. Like for instance, I didn't realize how it goes really into depth on like Jerry Sandusky, and it made me want to almost look up the Jerry Sandusky case, you know, because it just, I don't know how to explain it. Maybe I'll have some passages from it, but I was like, dude, I didn't realize this is so complex, you know. Like he ran like some, what did it call, not second heaven, what the fuck was it called, not second chances, it doesn't matter. He ran some program though to help kids out, and what was the other thing? Oh, like there's this kid that was defending him, and then after defending him for a while, he all of a sudden switched his tune like real quick. It was almost like reminiscent of like the Michael Jackson case. But I don't know, I haven't studied the Jerry Sandusky case, so I can't say for certain. Oh my god, this is crazy. Perseus, oh my god. Jeez. There's like an irony I was thinking, because like there's the stare of the camera and Perseus like battling the stare of the camera, so that's like symbolic or something, right? I guess. And what has an uncomfortable stare? Talking to strangers. Dun 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 dun. Oh wait, yeah, did I say that? Speaking, whatever, it doesn't matter. Talking to strangers. Oh my god. Son of a bitch. This isn't... Alright, this isn't gonna be as short as I thought, because this cat's fucking nuts. Perseus, dude, will you chill? He isn't just no chill. And then, dude, it made an uncomfortable realization, because they did a lying check, like how well people can spot lies, and like, if people's attitudes match, like if they seem like they're lying, and they are lying, like what's traditional looks like nervous behavior. Like they did test cops, and most people get like 75% on matched cases, but cops got 100%. And they're like, oh, that's cool. But here's one problem they pointed out: when it comes to unmatched cases, like when it comes to cops seeing like behavior that's traditionally like weird, like just weirdos, like uncommon reactions to oh my god, you crazy bastard. If you see uncommon reactions to lying, or like, in other words, if you have an uncommon reaction, you act like you're telling, god damn it, if you have, my brain is so fucked. If you have like an uncommon reaction to telling the truth, you are telling the truth, but it looks weird, like you're nervous. I almost feel like, because I'm wearing like this, it's like I'm pretty sure it's shell shoes. I feel like I gotta hide my titties, hide my chest fur. Then cops don't do well, and in fact they do worse than average. So it's like they're cops really bad. They just see guilt in people, but actually that's not even completely true, because they say people that are sincere liars, cops only get 14% of the time right. That's fucking scary. Like if you're like, I swear, like if you make eye contact and you seem confident and shit, but you're lying, cops like fall for that shit. Well, I guess it'd be the inverse of 14, right? Like 86%. So, yeah, it's fucked up, dude. And it's like, that's why you don't want to be, it's like, you don't be fucking have to be interrogated by those cops, man, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's fucking scary. Well, I'm gonna take a break and deal with this cat and see if there's anything else I need to talk about with this book. Or should I just... I'm trying to think if there's anything... Oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'll just keep rolling a little bit, because there is... Perseus, why? There is, I just feel bad for his poor ear, though. He always has, like, his other ear is fine right now. Or, not fine, but it's better than it usually is. But usually his other ear is, like, bleeding, too. Sometimes freshly, I'm like, jeez. But they also talk, Joe, please, Perseus, here, can I just pet you? Will you relax? Just, here, just relax. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. You can relax. But they even talk about like Brock Turner, and they talk about how like, it's so easy to have mixed signals and shit with people. Like, there's another one. What's his name? Got something Brandon Bree, or no, I don't think that's right. But it's something. But he's like, it's the UK's version of Brock Turner. He seemed more innocent though than Brock Turner did. Oh my god, Perseus, chill. But. Brandon, I already said it, didn't I? Did I write it down? I don't think I did. Maybe I can look it up though. Oh my god, dude, chill. Oh my god, he won't chill. Meow, 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 meow. UK's Brock Turner. Oh my god, dude, you gotta chill. You gotta chill. I've gotta do this. I've gotta do this book. I'm trying to find it. Bree. Some Bree. I was typing Benjamin Bree. That's it. Benjamin Bree. So that's that case. Perseus, I'm gonna. Dude. I can't right now. I'm trying to work on this. Damn it. That was a baby cat. You hang out with that baby cat down there? Look, there's this sweet little cat. Look. I know, you're crazy. You're crazy. Here, see, there's this one. Dude, I don't know why you're acting so crazy. Dude, he didn't even come in here till all of a sudden I start recording. Hang out with that baby cat. Come on. Come on, hang out with the baby cat. Come on. Oh my god, why? See, he likes the baby cats usually, so. God damn. Alright, anyway, I'll cut from that. Alright, yeah, we're still dealing with the cat situation. But they also talk, they bring up Larry Nassar. It's right in relation to, what's his name? Not the guy I just talked about, Jerry Sandusky, and they're like, he's definitely, in his, however, guilty fucking Jerry Sandusky may be, like Larry Nassar, is so much worse. And they had a really good quote where this chick who had defended him said, I believed you forever. What, here, let me, I just had it, was cat distracted me. I believed in you always until I couldn't anymore. And I thought it was a really interesting, powerful quote. So, alright, I'm going to try to throw passages from this book. And, what if I lost weight? I probably look like I lost weight, dude, just from my depression. Like, all the shit I've been going through. You have no idea. But the book is really good so far, even though it's hard to focus on it given my current state, but definitely recommend it. I mean, dude, anything, if it says Malcolm Gladwell, just get it. It's fucking great, I tell you. There's certain authors where I'll just always vouch for them. Malcolm Gladwell, Christopher Hitchens, shit like that. I'm not going to give a full list. But I've been wanting to read all of John Green lately, too. But I haven't read all of his stuff yet. This will be the... Anyway, cut, and so I can look at the passage if I ever get a chance. They talk about this chick, Florentino Espellaga, who fooled the CIA, and then it talks about this here. Alright, it might be hard for me to remember all the context, but fuck it, let's just get into it. It got worse when Fidel Castro de Espellaga had informed the CIA of their humiliation. He decided to rub salt in that one. First, he rounded up the entire cast of pretend CIA agents and paraded them across Cuba in a triumphant tour. Then he released on Cuban television an astonishing 11-part documentary entitled La Guerra de la CIA contra Cuba, the CIA's war against Cuba. Cuban intelligence turned out to have filmed and recorded everything the CIA had been doing in the country for at least 10 years, as if they were creating a reality show. Survivor Havana edition. The video was surprisingly high quality. There were close-up shots and shots from cinematic angles. The audio was crystal clear. The Cubans must have had advance word of every secret meeting place and sent their technicians over to wire the rooms for sound. That's fucking crazy, dude. On the screen identified by name were CIA officers supposedly under deep cover. Jesus. There was video of every advanced CIA gadget. Transmitters hidden in picnic baskets and briefcases. There were detailed explanation of which park bench CIA officers used to communicate. Oh, too many pages I turned. Goddamn, turn the page right. There we go. And how the CIA used different colored shirts to secretly signal their contacts. A long tracking shot showed a CIA officer stuffing cash and instructions inside a large plastic rock. Another caught a CIA officer stashing secret documents for his agents inside a wrecked car in a junkyard in Pinar del Rio. And a third, a CIA officer looked for a package in long grass by the side of the road while his wife fumed impatiently in the car. The mountain climber made a brief cameo. Okay, that's that undercover. I forgot the exact. Yeah, anyway. His successor fared far worse. When they showed that TV series, the mountain climber said it looked as though they had a guy with a camera over his shoulder everywhere he went. When the head of the FBI's Office of Money heard about the documentary, he called up a Cuban official and asked for a copy. A set of videotapes was sent over promptly. Thoughtfully dubbed in English, the most sophisticated intelligence service in the world had been played for fools. God damn. Fool. That's hardcore, dude. So, yeah, CIA looks like a fucking idiot. It's all because this one chick, I think this main one, is she fooled people. But they talk about how, of course you're not going to believe, it also talks about fucking, what's his name, the famous scammer guy. Anyway, let's cut. Oh, here's the interesting thing. I actually did, back in like 2008, I did something similar with a friend and tested this out. So, here's a bunch of word choices. It has to do with attribution. A few years ago, a team of psychologists led by Emily Cronin gave a group of people that same exercise. It's just filling these out, and see what you call them. Then she asked them the same question. What do you think your choices say about you? For instance, if you complete a TOU as touch, does that suggest that you are a different kind of person than if you complete it as tough? The respondents take the same position I did. They're just words. So how do you think this is going to end up? I don't agree with these word stem completions as a measure of my personality, one of Cronin's subjects wrote, and the others in the group agreed. These word completions don't seem to reveal much about me at all. Random completions. Some of the words I wrote seem to be antithesis of how I view the world. For instance, I hope that I am not always concerned about being strong, the best, or a winner. Well, I don't think that, not a whole lot. But I don't know. Okay, so, and guess how they view other people that do that. Let's see. Let's see how people view other people as compared to themselves. But then things got interesting. Prony gave the group other people's words. These were perfect strangers. She asked the same question. What do you think this stranger's choices reveal? And this time Prony's panel completely changed their minds. He doesn't seem to read too much, since the natural, to me, completion of would be book. Beak seems rather random. It might indicate deliberate unfocus of mind. I get the feeling that whoever did this is pretty vain, but basically a nice guy. Keep in mind that these are the exact same people who, just moments ago before, had denied that the exercise has any meaning at all. The person seems goal-oriented and thinks about competitiveness. I have a feeling that this individual in question may be tired very often in his or her life. In addition, I think that he or she might be interested in having close personal interaction with someone of the opposite sex. The person may also enjoy... The same person who said these word completions don't seem to reveal too much about me turned around and said, of a perfect stranger, I think this girl is on her period. I also think that she feels she or someone else is in a dishonest sexual relationship. According to the words whore, slut, similar to slut, of course, cheat or cheat. See, it's so fucking weird, man. People are fucking weird. It's like you can't. They suck at judging other people. It's like hypocrisy is born into us, man. It's fucking crazy. How clever the CIA, I guess CIA, secret agents are, let's say that. In the classic spy novel, the secret agent is slippery and devious. We're hoodwinked by the brilliance of the enemy. That was the way many CIA insiders explained away Florentino Espelaga's revelations. Castro was a genius. The agents were brilliant actors. In truth, however, the most dangerous spies are rarely diabolical. Aldrich Ames, maybe the most damaging traitor in American history, had mediocre performance reviews, a drinking problem, and didn't even try to hide all the money he was getting from the Soviet Union for his spying. Anna Montes was scarcely any better. Right before she was arrested, the DIA found the code she used to send her dispatches to Havana. Oh shit, hold on. Take this book. Thing is slipping. To Havana in her purse. And in her apartment, she had shortwave radio in a shoebox in her closet. Brian Littell, the CIA Cuba specialist who witnessed the Espelago disaster, knew Montes well. Quote, she used to sit across the table from me at meetings that I convened when I was National Intelligence Officer, NIO. Yes. Littell remember, she wasn't polished or smooth. He knew that she had a big reputation with the DIA, but to him, she always seemed a bit odd. I would try to engage with her, and she'd always give me the strange reactions. I would try to pin her down at some of these meetings that I convened. What do you think Fiddel's motives are about this? She would fumble and retrospect the deer with the headlights in his eyes. She balked. Even physically, she would show some kind of reaction that caused me to think, oh, she's nervous because she's just such a terrible analyst. Oh, shit, she doesn't know what to say. 1 year, he says, Montes was accepted into the CIA's Distinguished Analyst Program, a research sabbatical available to intelligence officers from across the government. Where'd she ask to go? Cuba, of course. She went to Cuba, funded by this program. Can you imagine, Littell said, if you're a Cuban spy trying to conceal your attention, would you request a paid sabbatical in Havana? Littell was speaking almost 20 years after it had happened, but the brazenness of her behavior still astounded him. She went to Cuba on a CIA Distinguished Intelligence as a CIA Distinguished Intelligence Analyst. Of course, they were delighted to have her, especially on R. Nickel, and I'm sure that they gave her all kinds of clandestine tradecraft training while she was there. I suspect, I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure she met with Fidel. Fidel loved to meet with his principal agents to encourage them, to congratulate them, to revel in the success they were having together against the CIA. Yeah, she didn't even bother to hide her bias when she wrote this. There should have been all kinds of red flags raised and guns that went off when her paper was read by her supervisors because she said things about the Cuban military that make absolutely no sense except from the Cubans' point of view. But did anyone raise these red flags? Well, I don't know. I don't need to go into this. You can, but I was trying to give you an idea of how ridiculous, how you can easily have misreadings of people. Alright, cut. Here's another silly interaction. This has to do with that one. What the fuck is the guy? Bernie Madoff, that's what I was thinking of. This has to do with him. This guy wants to hand off this communication named Markopoulos. So who's he trying to hand it off to? Anyway, Markopoulos' communication at the library was, to put it mildly, not efficient. The woman he gave the envelope to, by the way, she wasn't one of Spitzer's aides. She worked for the JFK library. She had no more special access to Spitzer than he did, and even if she had, she would have almost certainly seen it as her responsibility to protect a public figure like Spitzer from mysterious men in double-sized overcoats clutching plain brown envelopes. So that's silly. Yeah. I don't know, it's so silly. But I'll just stick with that. It's so silly. Yeah, here's some more. This one's fucked up. Colleagues believed Nassar, not Boyce. This has to do with the Boyce reporting at Larry Nassar for sexual abuse. And Klages, it's Kathy Klages, I believe, who she had to report to, and she was trying to, be like, dude, I'm being sexually assaulted by this guy or molested. The allegations raised doubts, but not enough doubts. The abuse went on. At Nassar's trial, in a heart-rending moment, Boyce addressed Nassar directly. I dreaded my next appointment with you because I was afraid that Kathy was going to tell you about my concerns, she said. And unfortunately, I was right. I felt ashamed, embarrassed, and overwhelmed that I talked to Kathy about this. I vividly remember when you walked into that room, closed the door behind you, pulled up your stool, and sat down in front of me and said, "So I talked to Kathy." As soon as I heard those words, my heart sank. My confidence had been betrayed. I wanted to crawl into the deepest, darkest hole and hide. That's fucked up, dude. Real fucked up, man. Over the course of Nassar's career as a sexual predator, I guess it's Nasser, it's just, I don't know. It's out of it doesn't matter. There were as many as 14 occasions in which people in positions of authority were warned that something was amiss with him. Parents, coaches, officials. Nothing happened. In September 2016, the Indianapolis Star published a devastating account of Nasser's record, supported by Den Hollander's accusations. Many people close to Nasser backed him even after this. Nasser's boss, the dean of osteopathic medicine, allegedly told students, "This just goes to show that none of you learned the most basic lesson in medicine. Medicine 101. Don't trust your patients." That's fucked up. Patients lie to get doctors in trouble, of course. Kathy Klages had the gymnast on her team sign a card for Nasser, thinking of you. Jeez. It took the discovery of Nasser's computer hard drive. Oh, yeah, so his computer hard drive, fucking porn on it. Why is it all these fucking weirdos have, child porn on their hard drive? What's his name? Jay Ertz from Subway. There's, a bunch more, but they always have a fucking porn. With its trove of appalling images to finally change people's minds. When scandals like this break, one of our first inclinations is to accuse those in charge of covering for the criminal, of protecting him, or deliberately turning a blind eye, or putting their institutional or financial interest ahead of the truth. We look for conspiracy behind the silence, but the Nasser case reminds us just how inadequate that interpretation is. Many of Nasser's chief defenders were the parents of his patients. They weren't engaged in some kind of conspiracy of silence to protect larger institutional or financial interests. These were their children. Here's one gymnast's mother, a medical doctor, herself incidentally, in an interview for Believed, a brilliant podcast about the Nasser scandal. I'm going to check that out. Believed. The woman was in the room while Nasser treated her daughter, sitting a few feet away. And I remember out of the corner of my eye seeing what looked to be potentially an erection. I just remember thinking, that's weird. That's really weird. Poor guy. Thinking that would be very strange for a physician to get an erection in a patient's room while giving her an exam. Yeah, he would think he was that smooth. Young girl. Nasser puts his fingers inside her with her dad sitting in the room. Later that day, the gymnast tells her mother. Here's the mother looking back. I remember it like it was 5 seconds ago. I'm in the driver's seat. She's in the passenger seat. And she said, Larry did something to me today that made me feel uncomfortable. And I said, well, what do you mean? Well, he touched me. And I said, well, touched you where? And she said, down there. And the whole time, you know, what she's saying, but you're trying to rationalize it can't be that. She called her husband and asked him if he had left the room at any time during the appointment. He said he hadn't. And God forgive me, I dropped it. I filed it back in the parenting filing cabinet until 2016. Yeah, the stories all sound the same. And she's sitting in the car very quiet and depressed and saying, Dad, he's not helping my back pain. Yeah, man, so, I don't know. I guess I'm just going to stop there because this book can be fucked up. It definitely has some fucked up moments, and on top of my depression already, I'm just going to end it there. But it's definitely a good book. I know it's fucked up, but I don't know, man. I gotta recover. But as far as this book review goes, man, Greg Huffman's book report on Malcolm Gladwell Talking to Strangers. You know, I don't give grades, but I can tell you it's very fucking interesting. I definitely would recommend it. So.